Hello everybody and welcome to an episode of the Talking Games What Is series. My name is Hugh and shit is kicking the fuck off. This is Subnautica. I've talked about this game on the podcast a few times recently, and I really like it. It's a great game. I found it by watching an episode of Jacksepticeye, whose YouTube channel you should follow, by the way, because he's great. Just one episode of him playing it. Like, he's done a full series of him playing it, and I was like, that game looks really cool. So I decided I'd give it a go. So this is the opening moments of the game. So basically, your ship has crash landed, and you're in your life pod. And you have to put out a fire. But where are we? Where could we be? And that's where the crux of the game lies.
You have suffered minor head trauma. This is considered an optimal outcome.
There's a little bit of a, like, now and then there's a sense of humour about this game.
To keep you alive on an alien world.
And it's got a very sort of like portally type rye type sense to it, and it's very good. I'm going to be doing this a lot during this video because my microphone is in the way of my keyboard, and I'm not good enough at PC gaming to do that without looking at my keyboard. So basically, all you start off with is this, which is a fire extinguisher and nothing else. So you have a fabricator, so you can make resources, all of which are here. You can make electronics. You can make food, so water mainly, because if you look down here, this is your health. This is your hunger level, I suppose, and this is your hydration level. And this here, where my cursor is your oxygen level. So first things first, take that, and let's go and see what's outside. So that's the mothership, and this
The Aurora suffered orbital hull failure.
is where you are,
Unknown. Zero human life
an ocean
signs
planet.
detected.
So the basis of the game is to survive. So here you have the ocean planet where you are. So to eat you have to do things like catch fish, which is easier said than done. Come here, little fishy. Come here, little fishy.
Discovered.
I let him go. So every now and then you have to surface because, you know, drowning is bad. So what we need to do is basically, from the off, this thing here needs repairing. So I can now make myself some cooked food. So first things first, I will consume this, which will lower my hunger level, I guess you could say. So now what I need to do is have a look for tools, and how do I make the repair tool? So I need silicon rubber, cave sulfur, and titanium. So silicon rubber is made by collecting 2 grapevine seeds, which I know how to get. Cave sulfur and titanium. So these are fairly prominent resources in the game. Hello, little stingray looking thing. So, let me see. Here we go. So, basically, you start off with nothing, and what you've got to do is farm your farm resources to be able to make what you need to repair your life pod, and then you go from there. You start creating new things. These dudes are bad, but I'm just going to swim towards it anyway, because this is what I need, and then I'll get back out. So, one of the few things that is always marked on your screen is your life pod, which is there. So now I need to find some cave sulfur. So I need to find a cave. So before I do that, what I'm going to do is keep my hands free, because it means I can swim faster. And I need to swim around here to try and find a cave to get the aforementioned cave sulfur. What on earth is going on there? It's highlighted it.
Copper is an essential component of all powered equipment.
So that's how you farm a lot of the resources in this game, is from outcrops like that. So you've got sandstone and limestone. So each type of those things has, like, can result in different types of resources. Whoop. So here's some titanium. There's some more titanium. Titanium is basically like probably the most abundant resource that you need in the game, because practically everything you make needs at least one piece of titanium to create it. Right, where is a cave? I need to find me a cave. Okay, let's surface again. That's the thing with it. The game starts and it can get tricky because you have to be able to surface a lot. Okay, here we go. So there's some sandstone. So that, I think that was some lead that produced.
Detecting increased local radiation levels. Trend is consistent with damage to the Aurora's drive core sustained during planet fall.
Okay, so here we go. Making the repair tool. So now I have the repair tool in my inventory. I can then repair my pod, which brings it to life.
Running full environment diagnostic and outputting results to databank.
So every time you do something, you'll get a PDA. You can pick up PDAs and they give you information, and they'll give you hints as to where things are. Sometimes they outrightly give you waypoints. So now in my inventory, this is a list of the blueprints I have for things like I can make. So the next thing that is a good idea to make is a survival knife, because this is a survival game. And sometimes you just gotta stab shit.
Weapons were removed from standard survival blueprints following the massacre on Abraxas Prime. The knife remains the only exception.
So, the next thing you want to do is make yourself an O2 tank, which basically means you can breathe longer for underwater, which is quite a handy thing to be able to do. So, I know I need titanium for that, so let's go searching. Alright, so that's 3 pieces of titanium. So I head back to my pod. Suck a little air into my lungs on the way. And now I can make an O2 tank. So you can see my O2 level is now 50% higher than it was. So next thing I need to do is repair my radio tool. So through this you get communications sporadically, like so.
Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.
So, you have a certain amount of storage within the life pod, which is handy, and it gives you some free water to start you off with, because water is good. And you also have a medkit fabricator, so you kind of get medkits made for you every sort of so often. So I need to go and get me some grub. Now fish, if you keep it without cooking it, does degrade in quality. And now I've made the standard O2 tank, you can see that I now have a blueprint for a high capacity O2 tank. And that's kind of where the progression in this game lies. Like, as you make things, you learn how to make others. So it's about pushing that a little bit further and exploring further and making yourself able to go further than you did before and things like that. Now this Sea Glide is very useful, but right now I don't know the ingredients for it. So what I need is, the next tool I need is this bad boy, the scanner. So for that I need 1 titanium and a battery. So to make a battery I need 2 acid mushrooms. Now they are very easy to find in that they're right here. So I go 1, 2, back up to the pod. And they are quite literally acidic. If you cut them with the knife, they explode and they do you damage. So there we go. Now I've made 1 battery. I know how to make a bigger battery. So equipment. Nope, it's tools I want. So now I need to go and find some more titanium, which will be easier now because I have a larger oxygen tank. Go, titanium. Those little brain thingies that spit out oxygen bubbles are quite useful, because if you stand above them, you can basically, as in real life, you can breathe in an air bubble underwater, and it fills your lungs. It's, you know, it's very realistic, this game. So now I have what it takes to build the scanner. So basically what the scanner enables me to do, as the lady's saying. So with this I can now go and find parts of things. So say for example this ball here. That is the part of a grav trap. So I scan it. And I need to find 2 parts for it. So generally speaking, parts for things are in the general vicinity of each other. Later in the game, they can be a bit further spread out. So that's 2 parts of the grav trap scanned. And now I have the grav trap in my inventory. So as you can see, that's basically what this game is about. So now I have this scanning tool. I can go around and I can scan parts that have broken off things, learn new blueprints, make new things, and explore further, discover what the deal is with this planet, and a story starts to unfold. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into my main game, with which I'm not playing in the survival mode. I'm playing in what they call freedom mode, so I don't have to eat or drink. Basically because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to worry about that stuff. So in a moment we'll see where I am in my main game. Welcome to my base, everybody. This is where I am currently in the game. I'm about 21 hours in. So as you can see, I've got myself a little bit of a habitat on the go. I've got a battery charger, I've got another fabricator, which you saw earlier on in my life pod. This here fabricates upgrades for the scanner room, which is what we're in now. So now I'm able to scan for any resources I want, as long as they're in the vicinity. So say for example I want to look for limestone chunks because I need titanium or copper. I can do this, and then I have remote cameras, and as you can see, it highlights limestone chunks anywhere in the vicinity, and as long as it's scanning, it'll continue to highlight them. And the grav trap that you saw me scan, that is what this thing is here. So basically, if I go back into my base, yep, it's down there. This here is my bioreactor. So what this means is basically I put fish into it, and rather morbidly, it just chews them up, as you can see, and it powers my base. So, you know, renewable energy. I'm a very eco-friendly type explorer, even though this planet is trying to kill me. So in my inventory now I have, this is the Sea Glide, which is something I mentioned earlier on. So that is kind of like, I'll show you. This basically helps me to swim faster. So as you can see, I can swim faster when this is going on. And I can also switch that sort of geographical thing that's on the top of it off. This thing is cool. This is my stasis gun. So I can fire it, and that thing there is now frozen. So I'm free to basically go into that bubble, stab the shit out of it, and it's very, very, very handy against some of the big nasties that you see around the place. So there's my life pod, still there. This is my farm. So I'm currently farming acid mushrooms and creep vines, which are very helpful. But I'm also farming these things as well, which are essential for another type of resource. Also solar energy, you know, again, eco-friendly. And this next thing, this is basically when you can create this is where the game sort of really opens up to you. So this here, right now, although it doesn't look like this when you get it because I have a modification station. Oh, we fell in the water. Go on, get out, get out, get out. There we go. See, like I said, mouse and keyboard. So this thing here, I can change the color of my It's called the Sea Moth, but I've named it Clive. So you can upgrade, which is what this fabricator here does. So let's go on a little journey, shall we? So with this little bad boy,
All systems online.
and as you can see, I can still see all of the limestone chunks that are being highlighted by that the scanning room. So I'm going to take you to something I've marked with one of my beacons, which you can make, which are super handy because nothing other than your vehicles and your life pod are marked in the game. I called it the Deep Cave, and this is one of the first sort of areas that like I really sort of went into in the game, and I was like, holy shit, this is nuts. Just to give you a sense of like the various like types of areas you can go to in this game. Like all this you've already seen, which is sort of close to the life pod. So over there, as you can see, there's sort of bits of wreckage around, so you search them and you use your scanning gun to like, because they'll have sort of parts in them for things. So the further afield you go, and as you can see, there's another life pod there. Those things are essential to the game as well, because you get you find PDAs in them, and they give you sort of story elements and stuff like that. So this here is what I refer to as the Deep Cave, and it's like, it's not one of the more crazy areas in the game, but it gives you an idea of just how like visually like cool this game can be at times. Like, these dudes are nasty. They will attack if I hang around too close to them at times. But again, and that's the other thing about this game, is the sounds when you're going around are sometimes freaky as hell. So this area is really cool. It's just like giant sort of weird jellyfish mushroom things and those eels, and then as you can see there's like abandoned habitats and stuff like that, and all of these things will have those PDAs in them, and you pick them up and they give you information as to where things are and so on and so forth. So this thing has lights on it as well, which is great because when it gets dark in this game, it gets freaking dark. And also, eventually you can get it to do this. Ping! And you can get it to do a sonar ping, which is pretty cool because it also highlights life as well as the topography of the place. So that's basically what the crux of the game is you need to build, to explore, to learn about your environment and to survive and find out. There is a story, and like in there it's very slow in sort of like revealing itself, but once you figure out, like, it starts revealing itself to you. Let's find out, where's the Aurora? Okay, let's go over here. Once it starts revealing itself to you, nice bit of frame rate drop there. It's intriguing. Like there's something, there's more than meets the eye with this game. Alright, so we're just coming up to the Aurora. Now, the reason I've come here is to try and find one of the more terrifying animals in this game is around here. Where's the rear of the ship? Right. Basically, as soon as I see him, I'm going to turn the other way and run, because He is nasty. If I see him, that is. Oh, he's right fucking there. Let's see if we can get a better look at him. So that's one thing the sonar does, which is really cool. Yep, there he is. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. Time to go home. I don't like it. Oh, that is terrifying in your headphones. So yeah. Sometimes you will hear things like that and not have a clue where it is, and like this game does have a very claustrophobic feel to it because it's obviously underwater, so it's quite creepy, but I love it. It's such a good game. Like if you like No Man's Sky and you want something that's got a bit more direction and it's easier to progress, then I highly recommend it. So let's park this bad boy in my moon pool. So, there we have it, folks. That's Subnautica. This game's made by Unknown Worlds. If you like survival games, I cannot recommend it enough. I'm not huge on them, but I love this game. I am absolutely just like intrigued by what it has to offer and where it's going. So thank you for joining me. This has been Subnautica. My name is Hugh. This is Talking Games, and until next time, be good to one another.